If your zucchini is taking over your garden, then you're probably growing it the hard way. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to stake your zucchini and how to train it as it grows, and why growing it vertical makes a massive difference, especially when you have a smaller garden. Zucchini naturally, when it grows, it sprawls all over the ground and it takes up a lot of space. So when you grow it vertically, you get a lot of benefits from it. You're going to save space, you're going to get better airflow under the plant, you're going to prevent disease, you're going to have easier harvesting. It's going to keep your fruit off of the soil, and it's just going to be easier to spot pests and maintain your plants. To grow it vertically, you don't need much. All you really need is a sturdy stake. Right here I have a metal stake. This is EMT. It's electrical conduit, but you can use bamboo or any sort of stake that can just support your plant. You're also going to want some soft ties, some green ties, some sort of garden tie just to be able to secure it to your stake. And then you're obviously going to need a zucchini plant to grow up the stake. Right here I have some Romanesco Italian zucchini that I planted about a week ago. So you can see that they start out pretty small. So in this case, it's probably too early to stake it, but the earlier the better. As it grows, it's going to get a lot bigger, it's going to take up a lot more space, and it's going to lay on the ground. As you can see here, I have it staked up so the ground is clear, but if you weren't to stake it, it's just going to lay all over the ground. It's going to take up a ton of space in your garden bed, and if it's on the ground, it's going to be easier to introduce pests, disease, all kinds of things. You don't want your fruit touching the ground, because then it's going to grow either abnormally or it's going to have a brown spot at the bottom where it can rot. You want to avoid that. All I did was take about a 5-foot piece of this EMT conduit. I cut a 45 at the end of it and I pounded it into the ground about a foot, and then I just tied my zucchini plant around the stake. As it grows up, you're just going to want to continue to prune the lower leaves that grow off of this main stem, because zucchini, the way it grows, it just grows out of this main top right here, and it will continue to throw out these leaves, flowers, and your fruit. It's also beneficial for when you water. Right here I have drip line, so I don't have to worry about it too much, but if you're watering with a hose, growing these things vertically will make it a lot easier to avoid getting water onto your plant and onto your leaves. You'll be able to get your water exactly in the root zone where you want it. This makes it way easier to maintain your plant as well, to prune it as it grows and to harvest your fruit. It also opens up all this space right here so you could plant other plants if you wanted to, something that can use a little more shade. This is perfect because zucchini throws out these large leaves that throw a lot of shade on your garden bed, which is good to retain moisture in the soil, but also to add some shade to maybe some smaller plants like lettuce, things like that. So as you can see here, I have a zucchini. It makes it a lot easier to come in here with my shears, just cut it off and just harvest. You don't have to worry about digging in between the leaves, trying to find these on the ground or have these laying on the ground. This one right here has no spots on it or anything because it was off of the ground. So this is a healthy zucchini. I like to harvest these about this size. You don't want them to get too big because then they'll produce more seeds. They won't be as tender. This is exactly kind of the size you're looking for before you harvest. And these two plants right here is just a classic green zucchini you'll find on most grocery store shelves. Over here I have the 8-ball zucchini. Throws out about a little bit of a baseball size to softball size zucchini. This one here is still kind of small. It's about the size of a tennis ball, so I'm gonna let it get a little bit bigger before I harvest. But you can see how clean it is coming up this stem, how it just shoots off the fruit to the sides there, and it makes it a lot easier to just keep an eye on them to see how they're growing, but also to harvest them when they're ready. Over here I have a Mexican squash. It's called the calabacita. So this one right here is ready to go, so I can just get in here with my shears, cut that off, and you can see the shapes are a little different on every kind of zucchini, but this one's ready to go. You can see there's more being thrown off right there. There's one growing, there's another one growing in here. Over there as well on this plant there's another one. So again, it's just easier to maintain, allows for better airflow, healthier plants, and maintenance is just a lot easier when you grow it vertically like this. All it really is just a piece of conduit that I've pounded into the ground about a foot, and as it grows up here, I'm just going to continue to tie it to this stake. And over time, this trunk right here that you see is going to be a couple feet long. Honestly, it's going to keep growing all season long, so it's going to allow myself to have a cleaner garden bed. It's going to free up some space down here, and it's going to be a lot healthier of a plant because there's better airflow, and you want to avoid anything touching the ground in your garden. And that goes for any plant, to be honest. So doing it vertically like this with a stake is the easiest way to do it, and that's why I do it. If you found this video helpful or useful, you can like and subscribe. I'll be dropping a lot more videos this year about my garden. Thanks for watching.